barefoot in a dark hoodie, waiting for the elevator and using the hotel phone. And this security director responding to the attack took these pictures of the aftermath: broken vases and marks on the wall.
Cassie Ventura completing her testimony. She's been pretty stoic, but this afternoon she broke down in tears.
Ex Cassie Ventura, who is 9 months pregnant, was on the stand for the second day in a row.
Cassie, she was embarrassed by it. She even talked about, what would I tell my mom if something like this?
What really happens after the lights go down and the red carpet rolls up? In 2018, Cassie looked like a queen at the Met Gala. But what nobody saw was what happened behind that fancy dress and bright smile. Now, years later, that smile is gone, replaced with tears and truth. Because Cassie isn't staying silent anymore, and what she's sharing, it's worse than anyone imagined. That night in 2018 was supposed to be about fashion, glamour, celebrities. But for Cassie, it became a nightmare. She says Diddy beat her in the bathroom at the Met Gala. And here's the scary part: other celebs were nearby. Some even saw it. But no one stepped in. Cassie tried to stay hidden that night. By 2018, things between her and Diddy had gotten scary. They were still together, but she was already trying to pull away. She didn't want to see him. She didn't want him to know she was there. That's why she wore a hoodie, sunglasses, and even a mask, not to make a statement, but to stay invisible, to protect herself. But it didn't work. Somehow, Diddy still found her. In court, his former assistant Mia explained how. She said Diddy had placed a tracking device on Cassie's car. That means he always knew where she was, even when she tried to escape. That wasn't love, that was obsession and control. The Met Gala is supposed to be the most glamorous night of the year. But for Cassie, it was anything but that. It became a moment of fear, surrounded by powerful people who saw what happened and said nothing. It showed how silence can protect the worst behavior, even when it happens in plain sight. People ask, why didn't she say something back then? The truth is, she was scared and embarrassed. Cassie told the court, "What would I even tell my mom?" She wasn't just hiding the bruises, she was hiding a double life. In public, she smiled. In private, she was surviving. She even compared Diddy to Ike Turner, the man who abused Tina Turner. That comparison says it all. It wasn't just physical, it was emotional, mental. She said she forgot who she was. Cassie talked about events Diddy called freak-offs, multi-day sex parties with drugs, strangers, and cameras. She said she never wanted to be part of them, but Diddy pressured her, sometimes even when she was sick or on her period. And when she resisted, he threatened to release the videos. She described the pain, physical pain from infections, emotional pain from shame. She said she felt like property, not a person, just a body for Diddy's control. Deontay Nash, a stylist who worked with both Diddy and Cassie, also told the court what he saw. He said he saw Diddy beat Cassie so badly she hit her head on a bed frame. Her face was bleeding. She needed stitches. Nash tried to call 911, but Diddy stopped him. Instead, he sent her to a plastic surgeon. Nash also said Diddy called Cassie awful names and threatened her with sex tapes. Nash wasn't just a stylist, he was a friend. He said seeing Cassie in that state broke him. He had nightmares about it. He said he couldn't believe how normal it became. Mia, Diddy's former assistant, shared her own story. She said Diddy assaulted her too, on his private plane, at hotels, at his 40th birthday. Even years later, she still sent him kind texts. Why? Because she said she was still brainwashed, still afraid, still hoping to stay safe. She said Diddy took her phone, Cassie's too, and yes, he tracked where they went. She even admitted that being caught in the middle of Diddy and Cassie's relationship was like walking on broken glass. She said she couldn't even help her goddaughter or niece because she never stood up for herself. And that's why she's speaking now. At a Brad Pitt movie premiere during the Cannes Film Festival, Mia saw Diddy dig his nails into Cassie's arm. He was angry, gritting his teeth, and he made her leave the event. It wasn't hidden, it wasn't private, it happened in front of people. And still, no one said anything. Diddy was powerful. Too powerful. People didn't want to cross him, even when they saw things that made them sick. A 15-minute hotel surveillance video was shown in court. It showed Cassie barefoot, wearing a hoodie, trying to escape, calling the front desk, looking scared. Agents confirmed what Cassie described: broken furniture, damage to the room, and her trying to run. They found drugs, cash, and what Cassie called freak-off supplies. The room looked like a crime scene, and for the first time, people outside the courtroom saw the real story, the one Cassie had been hiding. Cassie testified for 4 days. While pregnant, she cried, she broke down, but she didn't give up. She told the court, "Yes, he beat me during freak-offs. She also said, "I'd give the money back just to feel free again." Her husband, Alex Fine, left the courtroom in tears, but Cassie stayed because she had something to say, and she said it all. She said she covered her bruises with makeup. She smiled when she wanted to scream. She stayed because she was afraid, but now she's done being afraid. Cassie wasn't hiding. She was everywhere: award shows, fashion events, red carpets, right next to Diddy. She said a BT executive told her to just smile, because when you're next to Diddy, that's what you do. Even when Kid Cudi tried to help, his car was set on fire. The message was loud and clear: don't mess with Diddy. Cassie said she once showed up to a party bruised and bleeding, and instead of asking if she was okay, someone just told her to fix her face. Diddy wasn't alone. There were people who helped cover things up, people who stayed silent, people who looked the other way. And now, more names are coming forward, more stories, more witnesses. This isn't just about Cassie anymore, it's about a system that let it happen. Even Mia said she didn't come forward at first because she thought no one would believe her, that it would all be covered up. But now, she said it felt like the chains finally broke. Cassie told the court, "The more I heal, the more I remember. And the more I remember, the more I will never forget." She isn't just fighting for herself. She's fighting for every woman who stayed quiet, for every woman who smiled through pain, for every woman who thought no one would believe her. Her story is painful, it's raw, but it's real. And now it's out. So now the world is watching. Will justice be served? Will more survivors come forward? Cassie broke the silence, and sometimes that's all it takes. One voice, one story, one moment to start something bigger. Because when someone who seemed untouchable finally gets touched by the truth, it shakes everything. And this time, the whole world is listening.